Welcome back, Guy. I think you've been away to the sunny southwest. Is
I
that
have, thank
right?
you. Very nice time in Cornwall. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, a lot's happened in the last 2 weeks since you've been away, not least of which, before you went away, we were predicting who we thought would be in Andy Burnham's first cabinet, weren't we? And I just thought we'd review that now that he's announced, and he's got, I think all of them have been announced now, even through to the junior ministers, haven't they? They're all, so let's have a look, shall we, and see how we did.
Yes.
I don't know, we got scorecards ready, have you?
Yes, yeah, okay.
You're all ready to go? Okay, so I guess the first post that was very contentious, and there was a lot of discussion about beforehand, was Chancellor of the Exchequer.
Yep.
And you said, our survey said, you said Wes Streeting.
I did.
Obviously not Wes Streeting. And I said Ed, and Ed Miliband. And it wasn't him. It was totally out of the blue. Somebody who I don't think anybody was talking about a week before, were they? John Healey.
Yeah, it did make me laugh, because the Financial Times do a weekly podcast and I listened to it, and they were so confident it was going to be Shabana Mahmood.
Shabana,
so confident. They're sources getting phone calls every day, and I'd love to have seen their faces. Yeah. When Healey was announced. Bit of a surprise, isn't it? Because he has got Treasury experience, hasn't he? 4 or 5 years as a junior minister. And now they've set up this perfect storm, haven't they? Because he was the guy who resigned because the Treasury wouldn't fund the defence investment plan. Now he's got the opportunity to do that.
Well, yeah, it's a bit of a poison chalice in that regard, isn't it?
Yes.
And one of the other guys that we mentioned at the time when we were making our predictions, although I don't think we ever put him into a cabinet role, Al Cairns, Action Man, who resigned at the same time, and he has actually refused to take up a new position in the cabinet, so I hear this morning, upon the basis that he doesn't feel that defence has been, the defence investment plan.
Yeah, I saw that.
Which they announced has been. So it'd be interesting to see what Healey, and of course, nobody seems to have mentioned this, but up to now, but of course, strangely, he's not the first Healey to inhabit number 11 Downing Street, is he? Silly Billy.
Crikey.
It's going back a bit, isn't it?
Just as well he's not around, because it would be a contest of the eyebrows, wouldn't it?
It would be. Yes, yeah, he was the man who had to go cap in hand to the IMF, wasn't he?
He was.
The pound in your pocket and what have you. And so I should think John will be hoping that he has an easier run of it than Dennis had back in the.
Well, he isn't going to. I can tell him that. But because listening to what we'll talk about Burnham's pledges later. But every day you wake up to a new giveaway, don't you? Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah. It's We'll come on, as you say, to that later. So Deputy PM. Who did you have? Can you remember?
Deputy PM. Oh, crikey. Oh, no. I can't remember. I think I was going for...
I can tell you if you want to know in a minute.
Yeah. Was it Louise Hay? Did I go for Louise Hay?
No, you didn't. You went for Ed Miliband.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
I was being a bit contrary, wasn't I? Yeah,
Big Ed. And I thought it'd be Angela, Big Ange.
Yes.
She's back, but she's
not
there. She's gone to housing. I think we can say that because housing wasn't on our list of 5. But she's slotted back into her old role, which she had before. She had this contretemps with regard to
not paying it is the.
Well, she was cleared of that, wasn't she? It was apparently it was a justified mistake.
Yeah, she wasn't cleared of not. She had to pay the tax, but yeah, it was.
And so the person who's actually stepped into that role is Louise Hay.
Yes.
Who's the lady we were speaking about before who had the problem with the phone?
Yes.
Do you remember we had because we had a bit of a panic afterwards in case we'd been accusing the wrong person, but it was her who had the problems with the phone. Again, I think she got a conditional discharge or something along those lines. Wasn't taken any further, and it was accepted that was a mistake as well. But she's back as his deputy, so whether that leads them open to further accusations from the opposition will.
Oh, of course. Yeah, of course. That'll be fair game, won't it?
So, Foreign Secretary, this is one on which we both agreed. So, who do you think we said for Foreign Secretary?
Yes, yes, we thought Foreign Secretary would remain the Foreign Secretary.
We did.
We thought if Yvette Cooper would remain same, but she didn't, did she?
She didn't. No, Yvette Cooper's gone. We both thought it'd be Yvette Cooper, and Big Ed is there. He's the Foreign Secretary, which in itself is going to be quite interesting, given some of the things he said about Donald Trump in the past.
It seems to be now a qualification for the role, because Lammy did something similar, didn't he, when he was there?
He did.
It seems if you want to be Foreign Secretary, you've got to have really laid into Mr. Trump, and Mandelson, didn't he? He'd given a few broadsides.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I think it goes down quite well with Trump. But yeah, a bit of isn't this the one where they say that if there's somebody you don't really want around, you give them the Foreign Office, because they spend about 250 days abroad, don't they? So it's a good strategy, isn't it, for getting them out of the way?
Well, yeah, and they also talk that he, we'll see, won't we, in due course, but there's also talk that Burnham wants to concentrate on domestic affairs and leave foreign affairs to somebody who's got that sort of presence, which, to be fair, I think Miliband's probably got a bit of heft, doesn't he, within the party?
Yeah, that's true. Because Keir was exactly the opposite, wasn't he? He was front and center on Ukraine and front and center-ish on Iran. So, yeah, okay, I can understand why Burnham would choose to do that.
Yeah, I think that's that'd be an interesting one to see how it pans out and how because he's not got the we talk about your good self and what have you. Miliband's not got the schmoozing potential that Mandelson had. He's not quite as smooth an operator as in that regard as Mandelson was. And as long as he doesn't wander into the Oval Office eating a bacon sandwich, then we should see how things pan out over the next few months. Okay. They don't like him, though. There's already been comments made from Washington.
No, they don't like him on energy, do they, particularly? No. And they don't like what he said about Trump.
No. So that'll be interesting. Home Secretary, I think this is the one where the only one we got right.
Yeah, well, no change, isn't it?
No change.
Shabana, yeah.
Shabana Mahmood. And because I was listening to what we said this morning, you quite rightly said that, as we discussed before, that she'd been successful at the Home Office in terms of getting the numbers down and keeping Mr. Farage quiet on that front.
She has.
Which is why I'm quite surprised that they haven't put, Wes Streeting back at Health. I would have done that because he's been quite successful there.
So anyway, should we talk about that?
We can. Yeah, I haven't actually done Health, but we can do Health in a minute. But
okay.
On that note, Defence Secretary. You thought that they were going to leave the stand-in Jarvis in place, which obviously they didn't. I thought they were going to bring back the man who's now Chancellor, Healy, and put him in place. And surprisingly, I think nobody would have predicted this, that he's put Wes Streeting in at Defence.
No, of course, because that's what you do, isn't it? If you want a minister or secretary of state in charge of the department, you'd want a little bit of military experience. So what you do is you put someone who's had absolutely no military experience, and okay, he seems to get a very good rep, doesn't he? He's talked up by almost everyone, and yet I do wonder whether he didn't fancy going back to Health because he knows how tough it is, and he's had all the low hanging fruit. So maybe that was the thing. I can see no rationale for Wes Streeting going into Defence. I thought Jarvis had done a reasonably good job in a short period of time, and was very surprised. But Burnham seems to have dispensed with a lot of the Starmer loyalists, doesn't he? Not all of them, but a lot of them. And I can't see any logic for Streeting in Defence.
No.
Can you?
No, I can't. It's a strange choice to me. And there were some people, there were some characters that you think are better, I would have said are better on the social side of things. So
yes,
Health, Department of Work and Pensions.
Yes.
And there are others who you think they're quite like Shabana Mahmood, who are quite conservative with a small c, who you'd expect at Home Office, Justice, Defence. And then there are the crossovers, like the Chancellor and maybe even the Foreign Secretary, which is their cover more of a broad spectrum. But I wouldn't have had him down for defence at all. I think that's the last place that I would have had Streeting in for. And I don't think it's very clever, to be quite honest. I might prove to be completely wrong. But I can't see, as you quite rightly said, he had so many options for people who've got military experience, who can talk to military people in the knowledge that the wool can't be pulled over their eyes, and he's not one of them. Just beggars belief, really.
Yeah, I do wonder whether it's a CV build, and that in agreeing not to run for the leadership, Streeting said, "Well, give me another department so I can learn a little bit more."
Yeah.
And defence and health are both pretty important. This is a good CV build.
Yeah.
I don't think you can be a chancellor without some previous Treasury experience. I think that would be risky, either in the role or as leader in opposition. But yeah, a real surprise, and you're as stumped as I am.
Yeah. And finally, we can discuss, but I don't think we made predictions on this. Health. I really wouldn't have had. That's a bit of a demotion for Yvette Cooper, isn't it? From the Foreign Office to health. It's a big office of state, clearly, but I'm surprised she took it. I'm surprised she just didn't walk away from that, because she's a big enough beast, I would have thought, to not necessarily need that. I'm very surprised. And she seems a more, it's not hard-nosed, maybe that's not the word I'm looking for, but given that she's been at the Home Office and she's been at the Foreign Office, going to health seems very touchy-feely for somebody, and I don't get it. I perhaps would have put Lucy, what's her name? I can't remember her surname now. Powell. At health, or for that matter, Louise Haig, who's the deputy PM at health. I know that's going to sound as though I'm being sexist and saying it'd be better to have a woman at health, but they haven't had a woman health secretary for a while, have they really? And I think that probably would have been a good move.
Well, it possibly would. The other thing for me is it's the musical chairs thing, isn't it? You've got ministers who were learning their trade in their previous roles who are now changing, and you lose that learned experience. So that's Healy, that's Yvette Cooper in particular. Big roles where you could quite easily have had them back in them.
Yeah.
If you're going to keep them in the cabinet, which he clearly wants to, just give them back the old roles. So
absolutely.
So it's a strange one. And I think it's confused a lot of people. It's not just us.
No, almost seems like change for change's sake, doesn't it, really?
A little bit, or to squeeze enough of his friends in.
His loyalists, yeah.
Yeah, it does really.
The figures are such that he's supposedly ditched 11 of Starmer's people from the top jobs, hasn't he, in total?
It's a lot of obviously Reeves is one who's gone.
Yeah.
And they just by default become naysayers, don't they? Darren Jones has already started, hasn't he? He's not very happy.
No.
And I guess that is the nature of it. So Reeves, Lammy, Jones, Steve Reed, Peter Kyle, lesser known Richard Hermer, the Attorney General.
Absolutely.
Powerful people to have disgruntled.
Yes. Well, we shall see how it goes.
And what I would say, Sean, just before you cut us off, is you can see why we're not political journalists.